Hello students, in this video we'll study about the dependence of rate on concentration of reactants. Okay, now as previously explained that as the reaction proceeds the concentration of products goes on increasing, okay, and the concentration of reactant goes on decreasing. However, the rate of the reaction is also found to decrease with time. That means the rate of the reaction is directly related to concentration of reactants only. Now, the effect of concentration on the rate of reaction was first studied by Goldberg and Veitch. Okay, and he put forward a result known as law of mass action. According to him, for any arbitrary reaction, suppose AA plus BB, which is finally converting into products, the rate of the reaction is directly proportional to the product of the concentrations of the reactants raised to their stoichiometric coefficient. This is the law of mass action. Removing the proportionality sign, we are getting a constant which is known as rate constant. Now, experimentally, it was found that the rate of the reaction is directly proportional to product of the concentration terms of the reactant, not necessarily raised to the power of their stoichiometric coefficient. That means this alpha may not be equal to this A represented in the solution, and this beta is not necessarily the concentration of B represented in the equation. Okay, so this formulation is known as rate law. Okay, here also proportionality, removing the proportionality sign, we are getting the constant K, which is known as velocity constant or rate constant. Now, rate of the reaction will be equal to velocity constant when molar concentration of A is equal to molar concentration of B, and which is equal to 1 mole per liter. If this is molar concentration of A is also 1 mole per liter and B is also 1 mole per liter, then the rate will be equal to K. That is, the concentrations of the reactants are when unity. Okay, so rate constant is also known as specific reaction rate. Remind that rate constant is also known as specific reaction rate. Now let us see what are the characteristics of rate constant K. Rate constant is a measure of rate of reaction. Greater is the value of K, faster is the reaction. Second is K has the definite value for each reactant at a particular temperature. That means if the temperature is not changing, it is constant, then each reaction has a particular value of K. For the same reaction, if we changes the temperature, if we are changing temperature, the value of K will change. That is, for same reaction, it changes with temperature. It is independent of the concentration of reactants taking part in the reaction. Okay, it is not depending on the concentration, but K depends upon, unit of K depends upon order of reaction. Now, we will see what the order of reaction is. Now, we know that from the rate law, rate can be represented as the product of concentration terms raised to some coefficient, that is alpha and beta, which can be determined experimentally only. It cannot be referred from just seeing the chemical equation. It is experimentally determined. So, for any reaction, the order of reaction is the product of these exponents, okay, in the rate law. Now you can define order of reaction as it is the sum of the exponents or the powers to which the molar concentrations in the rate law equation are raised to express what? Rate of the equation. Okay, so it is the summation of the powers. For example, takes acetic acid is getting converted to CH4 and CO. Experimentally, it is found that rate is directly proportional to molar concentration of acetic acid raised to the power half, raised to the power 1 by 1.5. Okay, so the order of the reaction will be 1.5. Consider another reaction where H2 gas is combining with Cl2 gas to produce HCl. Okay, here also rate is found equal to K, that is rate is not depending on the concentration of any reactant. So here the order of reaction will be equal to 0. So the order of reaction can be 0, 1, 2, 3 or any other whole number or even a fraction. Okay. Now let us see what is the rate unit of rate constant. Now rate can be expressed at dx by dt, or it is also equal to K into concentration raised to the power n, that is the coefficient. It is the also order with respect to this concentration term. See here also, alpha is the order with respect to A, beta is the order with respect to B, and alpha plus beta is the order of overall reaction. Understood? Now come here again. Rearranging this equation, we get K is equal to dx by dt 1 upon concentration to the power n. Again, dx by dt is the change in concentration upon time. You can write concentration upon time here into concentration to the power n. One concentration you can cancel from here, and it will give 1 by time into 1 upon concentration raised to the power n minus 1. Here n is present and you have cancelled 1, so the exponent will be n minus 1. Rearranging, writing this on the numerator, we can write K is equal to concentration to the power 1 minus n time inverse. This is the expression to get the unit of rate constant. Now since order of reaction, that is n, differs for different reaction, the K for different order of reaction will have different units. Let us see. For example, if you put n equal to 0, that is for 0 order reaction, here unit of concentration is mole per liter. Mole per liter 1 minus 0 second inverse. You will get mole per liter per second. So the unit of K for 0 order reaction is mole per liter per second. For first order reaction, put n equal to 1. So mole per liter 1 minus 1. It will become mole per liter to the power 0, that is equal to 1. That means only second inverse. The unit of K for first order reaction will be second inverse only. Likewise, for second order reaction, put the value of n and you will get liter mole inverse second inverse. Likewise, for third order reaction, putting the value of n here and we will get liter square per mole square into second inverse. This is the unit of K for different order of reaction. Now let's come to our next topic, that is molecularity of the reaction. Now chemical reactions may take place in one step. Okay, they may take place in one step, and such reactions are called elementary reactions. That is, elementary reactions are one step reaction, or they may take in multiple steps, and those type of reactions are known as complex reaction. And so the complex reaction means the reaction is taking place in different types, different steps in sequence, and each step of the complex reaction is an elementary reaction. Okay. Now the molecularity of the reaction is the number of species colliding to result into a chemical reaction. That means, according to collision theory, it is stated that to carry out a chemical reaction, all the atoms, ions or molecules that are taking part as a reactant must come close to each other and collide with each other to carry out the reaction. So these number of molecules that are coming close to each other and colliding simultaneously are the molecularity of that reaction. Okay, so molecularity is number of species colliding to result into a chemical reaction. For example, consider this reaction. O2F2 is decomposed to give O2 plus F2. Here only one molecule of O2F2 is carrying out the reaction, is necessary for carrying out this reaction. So the molecularity will be 1 and the reaction is called as unimolecular. Take this reaction. 2HI molecule gives 1 molecule of H2 and 1 molecule of I2. Now since 2 molecules are HI, hydrogen iodide, is required to carry out this step, the molecularity of the reaction is 2 and the reaction is known to be bimolecular reaction. Okay. Now consider this reaction. 5Br minus plus BrO3 minus plus 6H plus giving rise to 3Br2 plus 3H2O. Now if you count the number of molecules in this step, it comes out to be 12. Now 12 molecules or 12 ions, it is very difficult for 12 ions to come together simultaneously and collide to form these products. So this type of reaction is known as complex reaction, and it must follow a number of steps to form this product, and the steps, writing steps in a sequence, is called the mechanism of the reaction. Let us see the examples of some complex reaction or mechanism. Taking first reaction of decomposition of dinitrogen pentoxide, you will see that 2 molecules of dinitrogen pentoxide is giving 4 molecules of nitrogen dioxide and 1 molecule of oxygen. Okay, now here 2 molecules of dinitrogen pentoxide is taking part in reaction, but experimentally it is found that rate is directly proportional to molar concentration of N2O5 raised to the power 1. That means there must be some step in this reaction where only 1 molecule of N2O5 is taking part. So these step may be written as N2O5 converting to NO2 plus NO3. It is a slow step, and then N2O5 collide with NO3, which is a fast step, and gives 3NO2 plus O2. Okay. Now one step is slow and one step is fast. So which step will determine the rate of reaction? The rate of reaction is determined by the slowest step of the complex reaction. Okay. The step which is the slowest is the rate determining step of the reaction. Now one thing you have to remind here also is that you will see NO3 is formed in the first step and it is consumed in the second step and not appeared in the final product. So this type of species which appear in some intermediate step and is consumed in the steps and do not appear in the final products are known as intermediates of the reaction. Let us take another example of decomposition of this hydrogen peroxide. Now hydrogen peroxide in alkaline medium decomposes to H2O and O2. Okay. Now this reaction is catalyzed by iodide ion. Now 2 molecules of H2O2 is taking part in the chemical reaction. This is this can be shown is this reaction. Now experimentally it is found that rate of the reaction is directly proportional to a molar concentration of hydrogen peroxide raised to the power 1 and molar concentration of R-didyne raised to the power 1. That means it consists of certain step that is slow and determines the rate of the reaction in which one molecule of H2O2 and one ion of iodide is taking part. Iodide being catalyst in the reaction will not consume the and can be recovered later. Let us see the step. H2O2 plus I minus giving rise to H2O plus IO minus. It is hypoiodide ion. Hypoiodide ion again reacts with H2O2 and gives rise to H2O I minus and O2. This iodide ion is a catalyst and is recovered after the reaction. The first step is the slow, so it is the rate determining step, and in the rate determining step one molecule of H2O2 and one ion of iodine is taking part, which is represented in the rate law equation. Okay, so this is the mechanism of this reaction. Now let us sum up the difference between the order of reaction and molecularity of the reaction. Now you can differentiate between these two similar appearing words. Now order of reaction is the sum of the concentration terms on which the rate reaction actually depends. Okay, or it is the summation of the exponents of the molar concentrations in the rate law. But the molecularity of the reaction is the number of ions, atoms or molecules that must collide to form to result into a chemical reaction. This is the first point of difference. The second point can be noted as order of reaction is not necessarily will be a whole number. It can be fractional as well as 0, 1, 2, 3, 0 or any fraction. But molecularity of the reaction is always a whole number. It cannot be 0 or fractional. Order of reaction can be determined experimentally only. Okay, it can't be calculated or inferred from a reaction or mechanism of a complex reaction. But molecularity can be calculated by simply adding the molecules of the slowest step. Okay. Again, order of reaction can be applied to complex reactions also, but molecularity is applicable only to elementary reaction, because complex reactions are having number of elementary reactions as their mechanism or number of steps. It is consist of number of steps and only slowest step matters. So there is no significance of the overall molecularity for the complex reaction. Now even the order of a simple reaction may not be equal to number of molecules of the reactant as seen from the balanced equation. Okay, order of the reaction may not be equal to number of molecules of reactant as shown in the balanced chemical equation, but molecularity is usually the obtained by adding the stoichiometry of the chemical reactants. Now you must remind that the reactions of higher order, that is 6, 7, 8, 9 etc. are very rare. This is because according to collision theory, for a reaction to take place, the molecules, ions or species must collide and come together simultaneously. So there is greater the number of the molecules or greater the number of species, the chances of these molecules to come together and collide together is very less. Okay, so the higher order reaction is very rare. Also The order of reaction can change with the change in conditions such as temperature, pressure, etc. But molecularity doesn't change with temperature, pressure of the reaction mixture. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.